Yes. Goodie. Jamen, i dag skal vi jo snakke cirkulære tekstiler, og særligt fra Finland. Og grunden til, at vi egentlig holder det her webinar, det er jo egentlig, at vi har det her store projekt, som hedder Tekstilsymbiose Herning. Og det er et projekt, som handler simpelthen om i samarbejde med lokale danske virksomheder at finde ud af, hvad kan man med tekstilaffald i fremtiden, i den nære fremtid helst. Så vi har forskellige virksomheder, der deltager, som både arbejder med altså inden for tekstil, specifikt og inden for beklædning osv., men også nogen, der arbejder med noget helt andet, som kunne være akustikløsninger eller emballage eller så videre, så vi skaber de her symbioser. Så i den kontekst, så holder vi nogle diverse arrangementer, og I kan læse meget mere på vores hjemmeside omkring det. Og det var egentlig lige det, jeg ville sige om det. Og så har vi jo så 3 oplæg i dag fra VTT. Det er Teknologisk Institut, let's say, i Finland. De kommer til at fortælle om et projekt, de har kørt i en årrække, som hedder Telaketju. Og det kan faktisk godt minde om Tekstilsymbiose Herning, fordi det har handlet om at have nogle økosystemer og nogle samarbejder mellem en masse virksomheder. Og så derefter kommer vi så til at høre fra 2 virksomheder, der egentlig har deltaget i det her Telaketju-projekt. Og det er Pure Waste, som arbejder med genanvendelse af tekstiler og laver så beklædning med det. Og så har vi også rester, som er en tekstilmølle, som arbejder med genanvendelse af tekstiler. Så det er egentlig det, vi skal høre fra i dag, og jeg vil egentlig ikke snakke meget mere, og jeg vil give ordet videre. Så yes, Pirjo, Jukka and Henna, I just did the introduction in Danish. I hope that was fine by you. Basically, I want to welcome you all, and to begin with, Pirjo, would you like to start and share your screen and tell us about your project you have worked on?
Hello, good morning from my side, and thank you for the introduction. I understood a little bit, so thank you. So my name is Pirjo Heikkila. I'm senior scientist and project manager at VTT Technical Research Center of Finland. And I hope you can see my screen now, and I put my camera off because I need to. No, I let it on. I just moved in the larger screen now. So Telaketju. Often is talk about project, but it's not a single project, and it's not it's a continuation of multiple projects, and it's also kind of formed a very active network of different kind of actors for this kind of active collaboration. So when I'm asked about to tell what Telaketju is, I try to kind of tell that it's active network with multiple companies, other organizations, research institutes sharing a common goal with the more kind of sustainable production, use and cycling of textiles. And it also have contained several research projects where we have been taking this circularity onward and hope that it will be providing business for Finnish industry and also for Finnish actors, but also, of course, trying to save the world all together with doing our part in this circularity of textiles. So there are different kind of actors because textiles are involving this kind of charities and non-profit reuse centers and so on. So we have been built this kind of active network, and our network in outside of the projects as well have been very active to doing things in Finland. For example, there is concept for how the national collection of this end-of-life textiles will be collected once this mandatory separate collection will be starting. There are this mechanical processing facility built in Paimio in collaboration with municipal and commercial actors. We will hear about that from Henna. And also there are flaxseed plant for chemical recycling of cotton happening by Infinited Fiber Company, and of course our national textile kind of ad organization, Finnish Textile and Fashion, also is very active in this network, and we are organizing these national seminars 3 times a year, sharing information about what's happening, what kind of projects there are, what is happening in companies, and so on. So we are a very active network, but we are also research continuum. So in this slide you can see we had first project before the Telaketju name, Relooping Fashion Textile 2.0 in 2015-16, and then there has been several projects with funding coming from Ministry of Environmental Affairs. Tekes, currently Business Finland, have funded several projects. Now current project is called Telavalue. So we can see kind of phases. First phase here, where we focused on kind of collecting, sorting, recycling. In the kind of latter stage, we also focused on circular business models and product design and so on. And now in Telavalue project, we are moved even kind of wider scope in sustainability. But of course, it's not only Telaketju in Finland, so we have multiple other projects, Circular Design Network, Nordic Bio, it was Finnish collaboration project. There are also ecosystem project, Expand Fiber going on in Finland, and EU project New Cotton, with the kind of coming with containing partners from Telaketju as well. So I shortly go through our phases just to kind of emphasizing collaboration, not in the detailed results, but we started by trying to build the blocks needed for collecting, sorting, recycling, and then that was done in the first phase. And already then we had 4 projects going on at the same time. So the Ministry of Environment and Business Finland, because we do have these different kind of actors, also non-profit actors, and also for the Lounais-Suomen jätehuolto, this municipality who is being very active and getting ready for this separate collection for them directly from Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment, and also Regional Council of Southwestern Finland. Having already kind of companies involved in that phase for different kind of activities in textile value chain. And in that first part, we, for example, conducted trials of collection and hand sorting, made cost modeling for the textile recycling, evaluated risks, and made kind of risk management guide for companies, and lots of different kind of material and product demonstrations. All of these results are summarized in public reports, so I'm not going into details with that. But after that, we kind of had things started for this recycling part, but since circular economy, it's not just recycling, it's also this extended product lifetimes and more efficient use of textile materials. In the second phase, in Telaketju 2, this Business Finland project, we all had moved our focus a little bit. So we had more companies on textile business, and also new type of reuse centers and this kind of new type of clothing libraries, and also other companies interested in sustainable business models. So in the second stage, we were not only focusing on recycling, but we had these different teams around circular economy, from business models, products, and materials, sustainable materials, how to design for circular economy, continued with the recycling, but also like take a look on the how to evaluate environmental impact and social impacts. Also continued with the economics of the recycling, continued with the demonstration, but also made quick trials with the business models and made some consumer studies with interesting results. How consumers are how are the attitudes towards new business models and for example, reuse of clothing compared to recycled clothing and so on. And this is some kind of from my earlier kind of result summary, not going into details, but in business models we made co-creation with different students and companies, made these quick trials, consumer research were related to business models, also made some scientific publications. On consumer side, again, mention this kind of scientific work in there, but we also had this before COVID time, we had this kind of collaboration in the events, for example, in the festivals, social media campaigns, and we also kind of trying to increase the general knowledge to general public about these topics. In sustainable materials, we made review on what kind of sustainable materials are available, how we can, what kind of certificate systems there are, and also our circular products research. We're focusing on delivering this kind of handbook for designers to help our industry to cope with that. What kind of things have to be taught when you try to do a sustainable product? In recycling, there is this national collection system. We have studied sorting in lab scale and also kind of social impacts on that. Made classification, started kind of evaluate how we can classify materials and also made a more detailed business cost modeling of the recycling. And again, different kind of demonstration from textile and also to composite materials. And also we studied how this product data and information can be used in circular economy. And we made a vision and roadmap for the future, how we should continue. All these results are available in the public report, but we also have many webinars, and some of those are also recorded in English. So you can take a look once you get the materials after this webinar. And now we are kind of in a third phase. We have product as a service pilots project funded by Sitra. And then Business Finland is funding Tela Value project, which is again a little bit wider scope. So now we are not only looking on recycled fibers, but we are also look how we can combine recycled and bio-based material streams in order to build textile production value chain and maybe back to Finland. So in Finland, we have a lot of research for bio-based materials, and there are a lot of activities on that. And together with those material streams, it might be possible to get spinning back to Finland. So this kind of basic textile production has more or less lost from Finland, and we try to get it back and then try to, or in Finland or in the closed by areas, in order to enable this more sustainable value chains. We continue work with the business models and more sustainable use of textile materials, of course. And we are another value chain we are still looking and trying to support is this recovery of material, value chains for recovery of materials. And in addition to recycling back to textile application, we are focusing now more on also technical materials and what other type of recycling options we have, for example, for technical paper massing, clothing, or filtration materials, or these kind of things which are not composing of similar fibers than clothing application. So we are kind of focused here now to make this value chain building an analysis for whole textile system, but we look on textile side and on the recycling side, we are looking back to textile application, fiber to fiber recycling, but also this how we can support this technical textile manufacturing and recycling of those in the high value applications. So focus on composites as well. So Tela Value is Business Finland funded co-innovation project with the VTT, Lab University of Applied Sciences, Turku University of Applied Sciences, 17 companies in that, and 6 of them have company projects, and 2 of those company projects are present here with me today to tell about their activities. So that was kind of short introduction to Telaketju network, activities, research. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pirjo. Super interesting. And as I wrote in the chat just earlier, you can write your questions in the chat or eventually unmute and ask your question live. So I was thinking, I could see, Pirjo, you have lots of companies in the different processes in the project. How did you come about to get them on board, and how did they collaborate? Was it in these ecosystems like smaller groups, or how was the work done for the companies?
Well, building this kind of large group of companies around this topic was not that difficult that it has been for some other topics, because in Finland there are so many companies who are very keen and interested to work towards more sustainable textiles. Of course, when we were kind of pitching our ideas to companies and different organizations about the projects, we had a wider scope. For example, usually when you get one of the companies in, you have to talk to 4 or 5 of them. So we have been talking with a lot of more companies and organizations in Finland to join in, and also the funding rules are not favoring participation of very small companies. So this is only a kind of small portion of the companies who are building the ecosystem in Finland, and then only some of those are involved directly in the projects. But since we are doing Business Finland work, it's actually public project, and all our results, these reports are publicly open, so they will be also those companies who are not directly involved will be benefiting of this kind of public research work.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I see Pernille in the chat. She's asking about the handbook for designers. You mentioned, is this available, and is it in English? And
that is in Finnish. Since we are doing kind of public research for Finnish industry, some of our more detailed reports are in Finnish, or these kind of guidelines, but the main points are summarized in English in the final reports. So our final reports are in English, and also many presentations have been given in English on many of these topics. So take a look on the public reports, and then you can find if there are links to some English language materials or presentations to explain more.
Yes, perfect. We will share the links with you guys. And I mean, more on how do you see all the work you've done now? How far are you from being commercial, especially on the recycling side? There's also a question in relation to this. If you have any final products made by now, or is it still on a very prototype phase?
Companies do have final products. So in this system, we have these company projects who develop their own products, and then the public projects support that, and companies do have final products. And then these new plants have been built, and then it's kind of happening. It's not only research.
Yes, and that's a very, very important part of this. I would say that things are happening, and not only on a theoretical level. Well, thank you so much, Pirjo. I will move forward to you, Jukka, from Pure Waste Textiles.
Yes.
And you can go ahead and share your screen. And as far as I understood, you were also part of the Telaketju project at some point, correct?
Yeah, we have been part of the Telaketju community more or less from the beginning. I will come to that later on within the presentation. Yes. But hey, Jukka Pesola from Pure Waste Textiles, one of the founders of Pure Waste Textiles. And I will start with our mission statement, which is to create recycled products that inspire change towards a world without textile waste. That's our guiding principle, what we want to follow, and we within that we realize that we can't change and do everything by ourselves, but we need to have strong partnerships, and this Telaketju community has been helps us a lot with to achieve these goals. Here's a little bit more how Pure Waste has been studied and what has happened within our journey. Basically, the idea about the recycled textiles came already back to 2010 when we were working with our other company, Kosto, and that time we realized that we need to have a more ecological fabric, and in our opinion, it was a recycled fabric, and there was no any options available in the market. So we started to research and doing some trials and testings by ourselves. Can we make it by ourselves? And 2013 we had our own 100% recycled denim in our hands, and basically it was such a strong moment that quality-wise it was in our opinion it was a really good one, and at the same time in the public there was big companies saying that only 10% of recycled fibers you can use. So we set it up Pure Waste as our own company in 2013. And in 2014, we had our first 100% recycled products at the market, and it was commercialized basically within 2014. And the trials, what we did it in China with the partners, but that was kind of difficult to run the trials within 200-300 kgs, and when the minimums were tens of thousands of kgs and meters. So basically we started to build up our own chain in India. One of the old friends was from India, and he with him there was a lot of discussion already from 2010 that we should change the textile industry somehow. And when we set it up to Pure Waste, he said that he has a lot of land in India, then why won't we build our own setup in India? So 2016 there was the first factory was ready in India. 2019 it was big moment for us, and also it's a kind of proof of the Telaketju network that we were able to launch first commercial products with the post-consumer waste in. I will tell later on more facts about these, what and how we did it, but that was basically the long-term aim for us to be able to use the post-consumer waste fibers in. And 2020 now there's another CMT factory in India ready, and the volume of the operations has been scaled up really a lot. So basically, now the second factory is only for the CMT use, and we have bigger partners to do to the spinning part and the other things. So basically, it's been scaling up from 1,500 kg per day. Now, if we calculate on paper, we can produce already more or less 90 tons per day if we run it as the virgin materials. But to work with the recycled fibers, it's a little bit different. So we are not getting there, but anyway, it's a huge difference from the beginning. Shortly about the process, how we work in India. So basically, in India, we are working with the pre-consumer waste. It's the cutting waste from the CMT factories. 100 cotton cutting waste we are collecting from the different CMT factories. We will sort it by quality and color. Then it goes to mechanical opening process, and the result after this process is the fiber, which is we always treat one color, one quality fibers at a time. So basically, that defines the color of the final product. So there's no any dyeing within our process. We will blend it together with the rPET fiber, recycled polyester fiber. Those fibers we are buying from the local PET bottle recyclers. Then those mixed and prepared fibers are spun into yarns and knit or weaved to fabric, depending on the final use of the fabric. And finishing part, same thing, depending on the final use, we will finish the fabric as it should be. And the CMT part is basically similar than within the virgin fabrics. That way, the final product we can save 50% of the carbon dioxide emissions, and we use 99% less water within our process compared to the virgin materials. Here, a little bit more about the post-consumer waste fabrics for what we commercialized back in 2019. That was basically a result of the Telaketju programs and the continuity of the Telaketju work, what we have been doing. We have been building the operations in India for the pre-consumer waste, but the Telaketju network, the research and work what has been done in there has been helped a lot us to be able to prepare the processes and to use post-consumer waste also as a raw material for our products. We did several different kind of fabrics, and we have quite a many formulas how we can utilize what kind of mixtures we can do, what kind of percentage post-consumer waste we can use. But this was the one what we commercialized that time: 20% of post-consumer waste cotton, 40% pre-consumer waste cotton, and 40% of recycled polyester. The reason why we haven't commercialized all of those, and why don't we work even more within the post-consumer waste, is that we see that the waste you need to be able to treat where it generates. In our case, it's pre-consumer waste India is the right place. It's coming there, but the post-consumer waste it's generating here in Europe and in Finland. So we want to be able to to do something for that here in Finland or at least in Europe. Key principles within our operations are sustainability. We use only 100% recycled raw materials, and we don't use any harmful chemicals. And there is only a couple of that kind of detergent and biowash chemicals what we are using within our process. As important as the thing is the social responsibility, we want to basically offer best working conditions in every place where we are working. Same here in Finland, same in India. It doesn't matter where we are working. So all our workers are within the work contracts. They are in payroll and paid monthly. We cover social expenses and some food and transportation if it's needed. Also, we are offering some accommodation possibilities nearby the factory for the workers coming more far away. Here's a couple of pictures. Actually, this is the old one. There's already a second building next to that one. But this is not. This is just a 2 weeks old picture, and we are installing solar panels on the roof of our factories. Basically, earlier we have been working within the wind power. Here you can see there's a lot of windmills within the area where we are working. But we want to utilize also the sun, what is available in India more than here in Finland. So we installed the solar panels on roof, and basically at the moment we are getting more electricity what we can use, but there is still some operations what we are starting within this year. So basically then it should be all utilized by ourselves. Here's a little bit on the inside. So it's basically for one floor building built like European standards. And then within about the R&D project, here is Pirjo already told you much more clearly and better way about these Telaketju network programs. But here is how we have been participating for these. 2015, the Techie relooping fashion program was the first where we took in part, and the most important thing in our perspective is the continuity of the programs, so that it's not only the one program and that's it. Because within the small company, it's really great help that you can work within this kind of bigger consortium where it's companies, research centers, universities, and other actors. It's much more powerful effect what you get. Within a small company, you don't have such a much effort to put for such a big variety of things, because that kind of circular economy world, it's not only one thing to solve. It's actually quite a huge amount of different kind of things what you need to take in consideration to be able to work as work that kind of circular business model way. Even we are using recycled fabrics, and we want to be the company following the circular economy, circular business model. Still nowadays we are working more linear way than in the circular way, and that's something what we want to change, and what we have been working within these projects, so that we can really say that we are working within the circular business model fully. And yeah, there's a lot of results what we have been getting within this project. I would say that the use of the post-consumer waste has been the biggest thing for us, and then the circular business models, what has been developed during the way. But in the future, I will start within the 2021 news, which for Henna will tell much more and much more details. It's the starting of the recycling plant here in Finland by Rester. We are one of the founders for that. The reason why I mentioned here in the future slide is that's in our perspective, it's just the beginning. It's most important thing is that now we have recycled fibers available here in Finland, and we can start to follow our key principle that you need to be able to treat the waste where it generates. So basically, the following steps what we want to take is that we want to be able to process, further process the recycled materials here in Finland or somewhere nearby countries here. And we've been working quite a lot within the last 2 years to be able to set up the spinning mill to Finland to be able to use the recycled fibers. Of course, the mechanical recycled fibers will be the main raw material, but as you might know, here is a lot of really nice innovations coming in Finland, Sweden, and northern part of Europe for the chemical recycling side and for other new kind of more sustainable fibers. So it will be for all of those, it will be beneficial that we can have that kind of rest of the textile processes back here in Northern Europe. New business models, that's in our case product as a service and on-demand production models. We have been working quite much within the Telaketju consortium, and that's in a nice situation at the moment. I think we can get some of those commercialized pretty soon. Am I already passing my time?
Yeah, well, you're getting there, so I just wanted to let you know you can wrap it up.
Okay, I will wrap it up fast. And as we all know, that EU has been launching the Textile Strategy or paper 2 weeks ago, and there is a lot of really important issues within those paper, and basically we want to be ready when those are in action with that. So traceability of materials and products, and as well as environmental and social impact data collection and sharing throughout the whole material life cycles. And we want to be part of the change where recycled textile is the new norm. And we have been taking some steps towards that, but there's a lot of work to do done still. And I said at the beginning, it's nobody can do it by themselves. It's needed to have a wide collaboration to change something as big as the whole textile industry. Thank you. That was about pure waste and our work within these Telaketju programs.
Yes, thank you so much. Great to get a deep dive view into what you've been doing and how your journey has been. There's a question in relation to this, with working with waste from India and in India, and how this in the future, from the EU, if they would require that EU waste, textile waste, stays in EU, would you have enough material for working with recycling?
Yeah, definitely. And that's basically the one strong point for us, because we see that we need to be able to treat the waste where it generates. So in India, we are working mainly within the pre-consumer waste, so the waste coming from the industry, from the CMC factories. And here in Europe, we want to work within the post-consumer waste. And all the studies what has been done for the post-consumer waste, how much it's generated in EU countries, it's really huge. So definitely there will be enough waste, but the main question is how well we can sort it and how well we can direct all the streams in the right kind of recycling use. Basically, within fiber to fiber recycling, you can't do for 100% of the post-consumer waste. It depends how well you can do the sorting. That defines how big percentage you can use back to the yarns and fabrics.
Yeah, so the sorting is a very important part of this value chain.
Yeah, it is. If considered the post-consumer waste.
Yeah, and then how can you control chemical substances in the post-consumer waste you use? Is how do you work with that?
Within the post-consumer waste, what we have been doing the trials, we have in India, we have own labs, so we have been doing the tests here, but for sure within the bulk operations, that's something what need to be taken in consideration. Of course, there is in EU there is the REACH regulation. So basically, everything what is sold here in Europe should be safe to use. So basically, there shouldn't be any dangerous materials here available here in the Europe, and that's the cleanliness of the post-consumer waste material is one of the key questions and need to be solved somehow. That's one of basically sorting and the cleaning. Those are that kind of in our perspective it's the big questions, and how it will be organized within the bulk business model.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you so much. I might actually pop some questions in the chat, but since time is running, I have to move forward to our third and last speaker for the day. Thank you so much, Jukka.
Thank you.
Henna, are you there? Still there? Yes, I see you.
Yes, I am here.
Yes, great.
And
well,
it's very, sorry.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. It's very easy to continue after Pirjo's and Jukka's presentation, because they mentioned so many parts what I think I need to do. So I think it will go quite quickly. So yeah. Hello everybody. My name is Henna Knuutila. I represent a company called Rester. And actually, I can say that Telaketju project gave birth to Rester, because all the people and experts behind Rester, they were met in Telaketju project in many webinars and get-together seminars and fact-finding trips. The right people found each other, and noticed that actually what we need at the moment is a recycling factory that will help the taking care of end-of-life textiles, not only from households, post-consumer for household, but also from companies. So behind us, the biggest owner is a sustainable workwear company, Touchpoint. And already, let's say 7 years ago, they trying to find out the possible solution for their customers, how to handle end-of-life workwears. But they were at that time, they trying to find out, but there were no possible recycling, I mean in industrial scale in northern part of Europe. They didn't find any suitable place for that. And at that time, the people and at that time I was working in Turku University of Applied Sciences, which is a part of Telaketju. I met Jukka and Pirjo and all the other great people from here, from Finland. So that was our history somehow. So we are all connected, as Jukka mentioned, that Pure Waste is one of our owners also, and we are part of Telaketju project and Telavalue project, of course. So we are all very connected here, not only in Finland, but of course in the Scandinavian area also. Happy to be here with you also. But as you maybe know, that in Europe, it needs to be handled by 25, the end-of-life textiles, not only from households, but also from companies. But in Finland, we have put even more before the date, we have put the 23. So we have next year, all the households and all the companies needs to collect their end-of-life textiles and textile waste. So that's why we are here. I'm working in a Rester as a development and client responsible worker or boss, or how would I say? The titles are not so important in our company. We are quite small still. But anyway, in the same factory, there are what Pirjo and Jukka already mentioned, the company, regional waste management company owned by municipalities in the southwest Finland. The logo is there. So they are taking care of households post-consumer waste. They do take care of the sorting, the collecting, and then they do have the mechanical opening line in the same factory where is our line situated in Paimio, which is located in southwest Finland. So we do work there together. We have own streams. We open then in our own line. We have our own line and they have their own line. And of course, we have different customers, but of course, there are many synergies with us. So we are working there, public and private company in the same building, taking care of the all post-consumer waste. So we create a new life for textile fibers, we rest there. And we are responsible, we take care of all the company's textile. So mostly from laundries. At the moment we take from Denmark, from Sweden, from Norway, from Finland, from all the Baltics country. The many laundries we take the end-of-life textiles. They sort them we have give them information, instructions, they sort the textiles. They are dry and clean, of course. Then we take in workwear materials, workwear textiles, which cannot be used anymore. Retail leftovers, second quality, and also industrial side streams from many industry. So we work in a business-to-business side. We take in homogeneous, we have quite much homogeneous material in our hands, large scale, clean, dry. We can already give quite good estimation, for example, to a different companies who are willing to buy the fiber from us. So how much, for example, we do have white cotton next year, or how much do we have green polyester or such things. We can already give the estimation to different industries. And it's already known, the sources are known, and that's also very important, that we know where they are from, our textiles. So it's a difference quite much from post-consumer, from households. But of course, there are many kind of similarities also. So we give all the instructions to a companies who are working for us, with us. I mean, we do an agreement with them, and we give them an instruction how to sort the material and how to send it to us and so on. So this is done by Teams meetings or phone calls or emails. And it's my daily job, actually, with work on different companies, laundries, and so on in Scandinavian area and Baltic area. We take in the material, as I mentioned, and we take it to our warehouse. And then this is not exactly same kind of mechanical plant that Jukka mentioned that they have in India, but similar. So we take the material in, it's dry and clean, it's let's say we already know the blending, and we already know the composition of the material. We know if it's 65-35 polyester cotton, for example, and we know if it's 100% of polyester and whatever. So we have all the information related to the material. Then we feed the material into our machine. There is 2 guillotines which cuts the material into pieces. And then the missing parts that you cannot see in the picture is that we do have a pre-tearing line and a moisturing chamber or moisturing line also. And the moisturization is very important when working on a material that goes to yarn production. It needs to be moisturized and put a little bit softener in order to keep the fiber length long. We have a blending chamber, and we have 5-cylinder steering line, and then we bale the material into about 200 kilos bales. So if we put white cotton into our machine and we didn't blend it any other material, then the white cotton fiber comes out. If we put in blue polyester into our machine, then the blue polyester fibers comes out. We can, of course, a little bit influence to our outcome, to our product, I mean the fiber product. Just what Jukka mentioned, the very good knowing what material we take in. If, for example, working with yarn producers, we have to know which raw material is suitable for that. So we pick the right material in our warehouse. Then we have settings. We can do lots of adjust our line, the speed and the cylinders. We can adjust in order to get exact the right quality for the need of the end, of the need of the company or industry who then are buying the fiber from us. There you can find from our webpage a video of us. It's also in English, so rester.fi. If you are interested, there is lots of other information also, but I don't go it through now because we have not enough time for that. But I think this is very important picture. This is the let's say the chain of recycling, what needs to be done. So we are there in the middle. We need the raw material from a companies. Need to work on that to have enough raw material for need of our capacity. Our capacity is per year 6,000 tons per year. With this one line we do have. So we need the material from companies. I already mentioned those industries we are working in order to get the material in. And then we open it into fibers or into pieces that the next companies are interested to buy. But then it's not recycling yet. We do our best to give the potential for recycling, but then we need the companies afterwards. Then we need the companies like Pure Waste or other companies who can then use the fibers in order to make yarn and fabrics. We need the companies to use the recycled fibers that we have done, for example, for acoustic panels, insulation purposes, for chemical recycling, packaging materials, composites materials. So there are many kind of industry and many kind of companies who can use then the fiber we have recycled or we have open from materials. But it needs to be happen. So that is recycling then, that somebody's used the fiber we have opened it for them and then diminish the use of a virgin material, like Pure Waste do, exactly like that. So there are many industry and many companies who can use these fibers we process. And that's why it needs lots of work from us, from me and for the whole company people to work on different industry, to find the best possible usage for each material we get in. So we do take blend material, we do different colors, all kind of materials we are working, but our aim is, and we are working to find the best possible usage for each material. So we are not only working with white cotton and so we are working with many material. And of course, all the other companies who are working with us will get these environmental save, how much they have saved for greenhouse gases, and also the water numbers they will get from us. So we discuss with them. So this is just a few examples of our recycled fibers. I will go them very quickly. You will get the material afterwards. So we do have white cotton, polyester, cotton, polyester, or polyester cotton, different colorful material, 100% polyester, some polyester cotton with flame retardants, polypropylene also, polyester polypropylene mix, polyamide PA6 material, and many others. And we bale the material into bales, as I mentioned, and then these bales goes to a different industry, as I mentioned, for example, to a yarn production back to fabrics, what pure waste do. These are just few examples of where can our fibers be used. And in the left side, you will see the shirt with this lady, and pure waste has made this. And also, I think the yarn there in the right side, pure waste has also made the yarn. So we are working quite close connection with them, of course. So there are many industry and many possibilities for recycled fibers. And please contact me if you are more interested to hear and discuss. And of course, you are ready to ask questions if there are at the moment also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Henna. Great. So there was a question that I think was answered. It was about if you only exclusively work with polycotton blends, but as we could see, you are aiming yeah, you are working with several different ones. What about the quantities? Are you how big can you go? How?
Yeah, so from laundries. The quantities from there are hundreds and hundreds of the tons per year, for example. But there are a few companies who only send one bale, one pallet with the material, for example, a couple of hundreds kilo per year. Yeah. With the side streams, and that's okay. So small quantities and bigger volumes are all okay for us.
Okay, so you're quite open towards that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Okay, great. And then you, I see time is running, but just the last question. So do you experience, let's say, difficulties with selling your bales of recycled fibers to the next step in the value chain, or how is that? And also the prices, is it going well as you want to, or?
I need to say it takes time. It's product development. So some of the industry haven't been used to use this kind of recycled fiber, which mechanical recycling do. The fiber length varies. So it needs also time for them to understand the differences between virgin and recycled fibers. I don't see it so difficult, but it takes time to change this whole system. What pure waste has already done. This is their part of their business, but the other companies they are very willing to do it, but it takes time and also to send the test samples back and forward and get a feedback and trying to do our best to fit their needs. But it's very hot at the moment. I have worked now in less than 2 years, and it has changed a lot. I mean, in the last 6 months, it has been very hot topic in all the Scandinavian countries, and many companies are contacting us and asking the possibilities. So I think in the end of this year, we already have not maybe 100% of capacity, but almost the whole capacity done. And of course, we are going to grow. We have discussed the first steps to Sweden and then the other countries. So we are not going to stay only here in Finland. So we are going to grow and make a partnership with different companies, that's for sure.
Well, great last words. I think it was super interesting to have you all three on. So thank you so much for your time. And as I said, this webinar has been recorded. You will all get the recording and the slides as well. So I hope you learned something new and you found maybe some new collaborators, maybe. So have a great Monday morning here, and take care. See you.